And it's like, well, here's your first experience of European and NA teams and all that good jazz. And it's like the most stacked group you could possibly make.
It's pretty nice. I like it. I like it. It's carnage. That's what
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
I guess if you want to follow Machine Gun's, optimism from yesterday, they don't fear anyone. So they're looking at that group. It's like, piece of cake.
That guy is just
He's a
badass.
Yeah,
he is a badass.
Total baller.
Certified badass right there. So these teams have already played each other. Renegades, they didn't come off the better in that situation. In fact, losing that match, that close one, it was on Keish, I believe. That ended up hurting them pretty significantly in a sense, because then they had to go up against Cyberzen, which they did manage to convincingly win yesterday, which was quite a surprise in the fashion in which they did that. It was a big transformation from day 2 to day 3. So moving into this now, both teams have had an opportunity to look at each other, look at demos. They've already played each other. So Mongolz, what are they going to bring to this one that might be new? Do you guys think that they can adapt, or do they're just going to go in?
I feel like Renegades were a little lucky that they faced Cyberzen. Actually, if you really look at how they defeated Cyberzen, it wasn't anything special. They just studied Cyberzen very, very well. They were able to read them in Mirage perfectly. They completely outclassed them. And I kind of felt Savage and his men had this. They were kind of under a lot of pressure as well. You could make that they were starting to crack after the first map itself. Mongol, just speaking to them last night, I just don't think they care. I just don't think they care. They're like, it's okay. We go, we play, we take headshot, we win. I'm like, okay, that's... How do you counter that? I don't know.
Simple philosophy.
It's a very simple philosophy, yeah.
I like that, and I do agree. I don't think Renegades are going to have the same strategical advantage in that sense, just from a prep standpoint, going up against Mongols. I don't think you can read too much into what they're doing. I think Chiefs found that out as well. It's like, yeah, you can get a certain gist of what's going on, but you can't really fully rely on that. And here we see the Renegades men.
Yeah, we saw some good stuff from Yam yesterday. He was playing pretty well on Mirage.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, the one member that I feel like we haven't seen too much of during this tournament from Renegades is actually the one I was expecting to see the most of, which is JKS. Because obviously he's the one who made the biggest splash when Renegades made their first tour.
And we do have the maps. We can go back to that point in a moment. So anything you guys notice? We've got Cbble, Inferno, and Cash.
Well, first impression is that Renegades have definitely picked up on what Mongols were not that great at playing. And that's Inferno. Because we saw the Inferno game that Mongols had versus Chiefs, and that was not the most impressive thing. It was very static, and it was not the kind of style that we expected to see from Mongols. And it's not the same that we saw on every other map.
Indeed.
So that's probably what Renegades are thinking. It's also a very good map for them, so it seems like a very easy pick just to go with. Cbble coming in from Mongols is it's a fair choice. They played it well. They definitely have their execute set. They know how to take those duels out on plateau and basically do whatever they want, which is a great recipe for success on a map like Cbble. They also play their CT sides pretty decently, so can't fault them for that, especially with the ban of Dust 2 being instantly removed by, Dust 2 being instantly removed by Renegades. So yeah, I think it just makes sense. Just the map veto should make for a really good game.
And yesterday, Sponge was talking on the desk about how one of the differences in the game, and how they're handling the mentality of the team is he's starting to bring in the Aussie fire.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm actually curious to see whether or not Top Gun is around here, because he was definitely, spiritually leading the Twitch party.
The Twitch party.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Top Gun being fired up and helping out the Aussie guys.
He's quite a presence.
Oh yeah, and he's an absolute blast to be around as well. Super fun guy. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw him show up there once they do their pre-game huddle. And no, I think it's kind of a necessity for them to actually to get up on their toes and be active from the get-go. And he even said so on the in the interview on the desk yesterday, that instead of sitting back and just kind of taking the aggression coming out from Mongols, we're just going to run at them and meet them face to face and see how that works. So that's going to be interesting.
I think it's going to be a bloodbath, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, that's what you hope for, right?
That's what
lots of ops, lots of bloodbaths.
Yeah.
That's what I don't see.
No.
Simple wish.
Simple, man. Simple wishes.
Don't ask so much. Yeah. Don't ask so much.
I think we might. Yeah, I think we might actually get to see that. I'm not really sure where I want to take the map who I favor in the whole of it, but you know, Renegades are definitely looking to get off to a pretty good start with, or I think they have Inferno in the bag for sure. So Cbble could go any which way, I guess, depending on what kind of Renegades we see show up. Because judging how big of an improvement they made from day 2 to day 3, I think we could also see a similar regression. Because I guess the brunt of the pressure is off. They've secured a major qualifier spot, but you know, if you've made it this far, why not go to Europe as well?
Yeah, that would be pretty sick. You know,
yeah,
scoring a spot in the Katowice finals, that's going to be pretty amazing. Blair, what do you think about how the maps are going? Do you expect this to be a straightforward game? I mean, both teams definitely been studying each other, and that seemed to help Renegades a lot previously.
Well, looking at how Mongolz played yesterday, if you just look at one particular round, the 1v4 on which I think Dexter won on Cobblestone on the A side, where they just peeked one by one unnecessarily, just threw the round away. That is something they shouldn't ever even think of doing against Renegades. And as long as they have some discipline, not try to like you see Zilkin re-picking all the time in Banana with the op in Inferno as well. As long as they have some discipline, some not being too aggressive, and they just kind of try and fix the CD side, I think it's going to be a much more tighter game. But honestly speaking, I think it's going to be 2-0 to Renegades.
Right, and we are seeing the walk-in as well. Mongolz getting in there, looking quite calm, quite collected. But here are the Aussies. Let's see if the Sponge is going to get fired up here. Where's Top Gun at? Where is Top Gun at?
He
needs to be up there.
They're hiding him behind the chairs.
I don't think you can hide Top Gun behind anything, man. That's like...
Top Gun was up to I think 5 in the morning, so I don't know.
That's a good point.
The guy is a beast.
He is a beast.
Oh, that glorious view.
I'm excited to see how Renegades play today. It would be really good for them, and I think good for everyone who roots for Renegades to actually see them perform well 2 days in a row and not see that, or not go from this tournament thinking that that day 3 performance was just a fluke.
Oh yeah,
that's definitely not something you want, especially with them having qualified, because you want to see them do well at the major qualifiers as well. This is going to be really exciting, but I think what Blair mentioned about the discipline within the Mongolz team is going to be really big for them. Silkenberg, who's probably been their second best player. Obviously the head spotlight's been on Machine Gun for a good reason, but Silkenberg has been really close behind. And we're just talking about inches behind here.
And something I learned last night, speaking of Machine Gun, is obviously there's a massive language barrier to Mongolians, and I was always under the assumption that NCL was their in-game leader until Machine. I was like, so anything, what's NCL telling you guys? Any plans you have? He's like, no, I'm the one calling. I'm like, wait, so you're the in-game leader and you're doing all this damage as well? Like, wow.
He's literally doing it all.
He's doing it all.
That's pretty cool.
That's insane.
That's pretty nuts. We need to see more of this, and we are going to be witnessing the knife round. So the action is beginning to get underway here. And remember, guys. Actually, if you make a highlight from this on plays.tv, just have to download and install the Chrome extension and make highlights from this Twitch channel for this event, you'll automatically be entered into a competition. Top 25 or 25 people will be selected to go to IEM Taipei, which of course is going to be pretty out of control. That tournament is going to be off the chain. So to get on that, make those highlights. It's bound to be a lot of highlight-worthy stuff coming out of this one, and we do see the conclusion of the knife round there. So Cobblestone is going to be starting where? He's going to get that horrible CD start to a best of 3.
I think it should be as easy as if you win the knife round, you just go with T.
Oh yeah.
I think that just has to be the way you play it. We've seen teams go the other route, thinking that they can get away with or just get the bad side done as soon as possible. But
we do have Renegades actually exiting their booth, looking to have a bit of a team chat, a bit of a huddle.
Maybe they see that. Yeah, maybe
there we go.
Maybe we can see Top Gun now.
Yeah,
there he is. Top Gun magically just appears.
There it is.
We talked about it. He hid behind the chairs. He's been there all along.
He doesn't look that animated compared to yesterday, I think.
Oh, just wait. He's just like letting the other guys have their turn. Sponge is like, okay, we're going to do strategies.
I know they're not from New Zealand, but this would be a perfect moment for a hacker.
Absolutely.
A team needs to do something like that, like just something similar to that. Intimidation tactics would be great to see.
I would love if a team started doing Hakras in events. Just imagine that it's like a stage game and you've got a massive crowd. 5 guys just show up and start shouting.
Oh yeah, that'd be so sick, like a battle dance, battle cry. Actually, you know, in StarCraft, in the pre-war days, it's very common to have winning ceremonies for players. You know, so like someone in football scores a goal or something. Firebat Hero is someone that
Firebat Hero,
remember,
legend,
absolute legend. So it'd be cool to start seeing some similar stuff in Counter-Strike. But it's great to see the Aussies indeed getting fired up, as that is seemingly very important.
The Mongols just taking their ordinary approach, just kind of playing the game.
Yeah.
I love how they have such a nice placid smile on their face.
Right.
All
They're
the time.
Super happy.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Like super happy people. Okay, now we go. Yeah, Top Gun is just revving him up. I think, and Sponge even said it, like having a guy like Top Gun there to just bring that fire, just kind of kick them into gear. That's actually good for them, and that's something they've needed. So maybe, who knows, if Renegades win this, maybe they should get one more extra plane ticket.
Yeah, I mean, well, Sponge, you know, he built the fire, like he got the kindling.
Yeah.
He was rubbing those, sparking the fire, you know, cultivating it. And our Top Gun, once the fire's going, he's just going to drop a massive can of gasoline on it. That's what it seems like. Look at this guy go.
He's getting more and more worked up. I love it.
You can really see like a killer instinct in his eyes. It's brilliant. And he's the nicest guy as well. But that's one of the best things about, you know, true competitors, drawing out the killer instincts.
I was talking about, because Top Gun barely touched CS after Katowice, so when he was asked to come here, he just, you know, had to level up his account to rank 3 and then start playing. Like all of that. It's been that long, right?
I think he's played Cbble, the new Cbble we have here, which has been out for a while. I think he's played like 4 or 5 times. That's it.
Yeah,
I don't know the map
at the most. So no, he said it. Just being back here, he misses it. He really misses it. So well, we'll see if he'll become, I guess, the 6th man of Renegades at some point. But for now, Mongolz, they have a pretty big task ahead of them because Renegades did play extremely well in their last game. I don't really know if Mongolz actually are up to the task, especially because we talk about this being a best of 3, and Renegades do have the favor of having the broader map pool.
All right, well, we can talk more about it after map 1. We have, of course, the map about to start. Very quick predictions, guys, for map 1.
Okay, so map 1, it's going to go to Renegades. 16-10-ish.
16-10 to Renegades.
Yep.
I'm actually going to keep Hope alive for Mongols. I'm thinking this is going to be a 3-mapper, so Mongols are going to take Cbble.
Nice. So Split's decision there on the desk. Brilliant. Love to see that. It's time, though, to get the game started. We have Anders, Semler, and Moses ready to cast. Take it away, guys.
Well, thank you very much for everybody on the desk there. Yes, we are indeed ready here with a bit of a TriCast going into the first game, and it seemed like everybody was on Renegade's side. We've got no fans of Machine Gun and the rest of them on the table here.
Oh, I'm a fan. Machine Gun and Zinc, man, those guys, they've definitely earned my respect. But it's Renegades, and they showed up yesterday in their match. They were up all night watching demos, getting prepared for this match. We saw what happened when they did their homework, when they knew what was coming, you know, against CyberZen.
Yeah.
Same thing here for Mongolz. I mean, I have to give it to Renegades. I have to give them the edge.
That's what worries me as well.
I'm actually a little bit worried for Cbble in terms of Renegades, because I know they feel very confident on it, but this is a map where, like, the aggression of Mongolz, if they can snowball on their T side, you know, out towards that B platform with Machine, it's just like going nuts.
Yeah,
that's where it's going to get scary.
Well, we're about to find out. Renegades employing a very swift strategy early on here, rushing 2 people up. Sogu, he's going to take down 1, and Sponge is now trapped. I mean, the rest of the terrorist force right now is on the other side of the map, but yeah, Sponge falling back, and Machine Gun up here. Actually, it's a team kill. Azza taking down Havoc, and finally, he picks up a second and important kill on Machine Gun, then Menace trying to stay back. And right now, it's still a 3-on-3.
The challenge here is for Menace to just stay alive and wait for that rotate to come in. He does have a man coming in at box, and now Zilkenberg pressing up here at long. He might be able to get onto plateau and get control of this space. Sponge has to challenge. Sponge is charging forward, and they're both running out of bullets. What is this? The knife attempt. Sit down.
Oh, man, what an end to that round. It looked like that took forever. I have no idea how he even got the reload in, but obviously both players out of bullets, and the Mongols are going to come up with a first-round victory here, even though it looked like it could have gone either way.
I mean, the two big heavy hitters for the Mongols, Machine Gun and Zilkenberg, played such a great round there. I mean, Machine Gun just pretty much all alone at that B bomb site, spots it out at distance, and despite having two angles firing at him, he delays, he deals a lot of damage. That helps the teammates when they rotate. And then Zilkenberg on that flank, he knew he didn't have to get aggressive. Once that one kill came out and they were in a 3-on-2, he just had to make sure Sponge was occupied fighting him, so he had a 2-on-1 against his other teammates. So it was very well played from those two players.
Yeah, and they also have done their homework here, Mongols. I mean, obviously, we've seen Renegades favor the A site quite a bit in their pistol rounds throughout this tournament, and Zilkenberg just charging forward into A long, into A apartments early in that round. He's just like, hey, if they're here, I'm going to die, but I'm going to find them, right? And they had some info early on there, so Mongols definitely feeling confident, and they're looking really good so far, at least. But one round in, got to calm down, right?
Plus, I mean, you know, speaking of confidence, they picked up 3 MP7s and MP9, and then the Mag 7 there on Silkenberg. So not a single sort of, you know, real rifle, as it were. I mean, for retakes, this worries me. Certainly these guns are really good, but against Tech 9 armor, that could be a really scary problem for them.
Especially with the way they're set up right now. You know, NCL and the shotgun Zilkenberg are playing so individual right now.
Sponge with a big opening there. NCL is going to get overwhelmed. Havoc just charging right through him. A machine gun. He kind of has to go aggressive, otherwise he's going to get sandwiched in here. Backup is coming, and Menace doing a really good job picking up 2 kills, but it's still not enough here. Sogu alone.
Yeah, and this is where those MP7s, like you said, the retake, what are you going to do here? He gets that kill with a nice dink, but Azur's just going to end it. 3 kills for Sponge in the round. You have to say, he stepped up massively yesterday. Looks like in the second round he brought it again. But that's the thing. Those 2 players in A were playing so far apart. There was no teamwork. So they both get taken out individually. They can't do anything. And then all of a sudden, Mongols are in a really, really tough spot. Machine Gun overextends, and even he's far away from any help from his teammates on the rotate. So Renegades takes advantage of a couple small blunders from Mongols.
Reminds me of some Envy play that we've seen in the past. Kenny and Apex, when they struggled on their CT side, they were doing the exact same thing. Split up, unable to help each other. And then it all just comes down to duels. That Sponge, he already tags up Zilkenberg. Doesn't expect the second man to be there, though. NCL, nice job on him, at least trading 1 for 1. That sets it up here for Renegades. Well, for Renegades to run into Zilk with that deagle, but Zilk is playing this correctly. He's backing off to the site, looking for that long-range fight.
Look at how aggressive and grouped up Renegades is right now. They have all 4 members pushing out these A halls. They don't want to waste any time with it.
Well, Havoc making his way close. They are going to check that corner. You can already tell that Havoc was looking for it, but Sogu still picks up the kill. He's got the SD set in hand, but he can't get the second frag in. And Menace trying to see if he could find a way at least do a little bit more damage here as a pre-firing that corner. Ooh, wondering if they had a grenade for him. It's going to be just fine. Only 2 people dying on Renegades. A triple kill for JKS, and yeah, I mean, a swift comeback into this for the Australian side. And this is obviously a problem. I mean, we've been talking pretty much all tournament long about how hard it is to play the CT side. So if they could have at least got 3 sort of rounds in the beginning here for next to nothing, would have been very valuable.
Well, I mean, you brought up the point. It looked like they were getting a little bit ahead of themselves in that second round with all the SMGs, all the money-making weapons that you can have, but with no rifles, tough to penetrate through that armor and actually get a couple multi-kills. So it seemed like they just wanted to build up bank. The Renegades just stopped their tracks. And this is interesting, too. Another basically full buy into this round.
Yeah, this is a force. Mongols, they're really wanting to commit to the fight here. 3 CZs, I mean, the CZs are always dangerous. They just need to make the right call, be in the right place at the right time here to be effective. And Sogu, he is going to be getting close to plateau. That one flash, though, going to force him back. And yeah, Sponge at this point, he's just going to be fed into this. He's got that Mac 10, so he doesn't care.
Yeah, but he's not expecting to go against armor, so the Mac 10s really aren't going to be that effective. Azur gets 1, but it's now a 4-on-3.
Sogu so close as well. He goes for it and almost takes down JKS, but look at the headshots that are coming back. Great double kill for JKS, down to half HP is what he is. And NCL playing very close here. Swift grenade, and JKS finishing the round with a quad kill. Very, very impressive round for him again.
And now Mongols have to save. I mean, they can't keep doing that. They're not even finding enough success with it. You know, a couple kills there, but those rifles are just going to overpower it from now on. And then this is continuing from Renegades. What they've been doing all tournament long is look at all the buys they have. I mean, they have to know that there was armor in that round. They have to know this is going to be a full save without it, but they're still buying up all their nades and Molotovs to clear out positions as they take bomb sites. They're not risking anything.
That's a trademark of Renegades, though. They are very thorough. Once they get onto their game, they don't mind using the nades to check the likely spots. They don't mind using those incendiaries, those Molotovs. And you can already see one right there down into drop, allows Azza to press forward into connector, and he might get caught here. Yep. Point-blank shot from Menace with that 5-7. Finally, Menace able to connect.
And all they've rescued from that engagement there on the Mongol side is the single Mac 10, and they still don't have armor, so not such a big giveaway, I think. And now the rest of Renegades are going to take over this A-bomb site, so still a pretty good sacrifice. I mean, you would have wished that Answer would have got a bit more done, but it's still pretty good. MCL, though, walking up behind them, looking for a couple of shots. Oh, he misses the opportunity, and Silkenberg is going to go down. Good job from NCL, but if he actually got that kill initially, then still could have been put into play, and it would have been a lot more of a fun round. It's still pretty good, though. 2-on-2, and Sogu and Machine Gun, they actually have the health for this. Machine Gun are going to be taking on Yam, and oh, Havoc falls as well. And somehow they come back into the round after all. And what happened to Renegades in that round? They should have cleaned them to sort of close it down, it seemed like.
I mean, they had all the advantage. They were pretty much at the bomb site. And that one kill from NCL, even though it was delayed, even though he misses the initial shots, the attention that it required, it holds that push into the site. And that's what allowed Mongolz players to rotate, out of balcony, out of those doors, and actually get towards that site to defend it. And they did it well.
No, that's exactly it. NCL is the hero of that round. A little bit of luck, great timing, and he gets the job done. Now it's going to be Renegades. Of course, they have the money for the full buy once again, but full rifles, all the nades here from Mongolz to start holding off this push. Molotov's going to force Silkenberg out into the open. He dodges the flash, but he can't line up the shot on Sponge. Now it's all on NCL, and he only trades 1-for-1. That's just not good enough here. He really needed to come up big, get at least 2 kills in that situation.
The Machine Gun cannot make it out of the balcony either, so Menace and Sogu, I think it's probably time to back off, and that's what they're going to try and do. What do you think about that position from NCL? Because that's the second time it's backfired, where it seems like it might work if like 1 or 2 people come out, but when a whole sort of host of terrorists running out, it's too much to handle, it seems.
It's the same setup they ran on the second round that they got punished for by Renegades. It was Silkenberg playing close up, down that mid ramp, and NCL playing over towards those A halls.
Yeah.
And I mean, basically, it's just like win your fights or lose the round, and they're not winning them. So this also might be something where yesterday on this map we saw Renegades, much more cautious approach. I mean, they were spreading out in defaults. They weren't going this fast pace. A lot of players over towards B and drop initially at the beginning of the round. So maybe they noticed this setup on the Mongol side. We've talked a lot about how Sponge is spending a lot of time watching VODs and preparing for this event, and it looks like they found something that they can exploit.
It's working wonders right now. Mongolz once again forced to eco. I mean, they might get dropped by the guys who have rifles, but it's just going to be, a couple of CZs, P250. Machine Gun's still going for the Kevlar, so he might have had a little bit more money than his mates there. Just balancing it out. But, I mean, they want a hard eco pretty much, so anything is possible here now that they have 2 rifles to bolster things. I'm a bit surprised that they didn't even just, give one to Machine Gun, for example. A guy gets Kevlar, just donate me your gun, let me go to work.
I think maybe it's the idea that, he's just so good he doesn't need the rifle.
Fair enough. I mean, dude, the guy is a monster. But it is Sogu, actually, who's doing a lot of the work right now. Machine Gun and Silkenberg are both sitting on 1 frag. Sogu, though, he catches out Havoc.
Doing even more. NCL in the corner here, trying to dodge the flash, and ends up getting taken down. Yam with a double kill. And that is going to make it 4 versus 3. Menace and Sogu and Machine Gun still a little bit of a stack going on at the bomb site. And Sogu has shown up with a rifle, and Menace, in fact, the guy to take down Yam. And JKS with a bit of reply. Sogu there to take the refrag. Still a 2v2, and that bomb is being brought back. There's still more than a minute left.
Yeah, and this is working out perfectly. Great timing here for Renegades to decide to rotate back towards that A side, or towards the B site rather. Now they've got the bomb, they've got a free site all to themselves. Sogu and Machine Gun, they have the guns now, but it's a question of going into a retake where Renegades are going to have time to prepare.
And Mongols are splitting up. Sogu's going on a big flank, and the bomb's not planted, so actually the timing's not going to be bad, especially with those extra 5 seconds. Machine Gun, great damage onto Azure. That's going to help out a lot.
Sogu coming in from Plateau. Asa, he gets this kill, but no, he won't. If he'd have got it, then Sogu would have been in such a bad problem. Now it's going to be the Molotov backstairs as well, and Sogu takes the kill. Absolutely well done. Triple for him. I mean, he's much more alive than we've seen the other days, and I don't know, I was almost freaking out then, because I thought if Asa get that kill on Machine Gun, then that whole flank from Sogu is going to be so poorly timed. Like, as soon as he reveals himself on the plateau, they'll just turn around and kill him. So the fact that he had a Molotov to clear out Chicken Coop, even better.
That's all on Machine Gun winning that duel. Like that's just, again, though, we're talking about them putting themselves in these situations where it's like, if you win your fight, you can win the round. If you lose it, that's it. It's over. It's done. And so, once again, I mean, Machine Gun, he's that guy you want to have in the clutch in those kinds of situations. He will win you that fight. And Silkenberg, with the AWP, gets the leg shot on JKS. Might have gotten the nade follow-up as well if JKS got a little hungry there, but he's going to have to back off now and play it safe.
Yeah, that's really nice, because even though they were playing that very spread out again, that off, the fact that he's able to survive and all the damage he's dealt between the leg shot and the nade onto Azure, all of a sudden they've slowed down the pressure from Renegades. It has been so successful throughout this half, or at least early on in this half. So now Renegades is going to have to slow things down and spread back out.
I mean, what I'm really wondering about now is, because we've got Mongolz essentially winning the pistol and then two sort of independent rounds beside that. But if they had actually won the first 3 rounds of the pistol round, then this right now could seem like a very, very good game for Mongolz. I mean, it already kind of does. 3-4 is definitely a good scoreline. So Renegades, I think it's actually now it's kind of on them to try and show us that they could switch this up and actually get back into a better pattern here.
Well, this is a very important round for them, because if they reset the economy of Mongolz, that's where they can start running away from it and get a solid lead going, while Mongolz has to save or even double save if they want to put emphasis on this op. Now Machine Gun is going to go searching for information, and he gets dropped by JKS.
They still have 2 players on this site holding on the A site already. The thing is that Sponge has just shown himself on that B site, drawing attention to himself. He might actually catch them out here. Sogu does turn around, rips Sponge head off, but then the push begins. Zilkenberg, he's going to be falling back with that AWP, but it's so important that he stays alive. He needs to land the shot, and he does pick it up, spots the man on ramp, but re-challenges and just gets caught out by JKS. Easy shot there, and then the follow-up from Havoc. Perfectly done here so far by Renegades.
The bomb going down. Menace and Sogu are going to be in such a lot of trouble to try and see if they can actually make it back here, as they're holding close to balcony, so they really only have a couple of ways to get out on this bomb site. It looks like they do want to try and see if they at least find that kill, but Molotov's even being saved by Renegades. That's a pretty good shot from JKS. Menace left to run away.
Really, really well played by Renegades. I mean, they get spotted out, they get stopped early with that aggression in those A halls, which they've been going to this whole half, and they just sit in the stairwell and wait. They know someone from Mongolz is going to get a little bit aggressive, and it was Machine Gun who went searching for information, gets punished, and then all of a sudden, once they actually start hitting this bomb site, they get in so quick that they have smokes and Molotovs on the choke point. So the rotates, even though they're there in time to prevent it, they have no vision.
I think the key player there is Sponge from Renegades, though. The fact that he manages to get off a plateau onto the B site, you saw the rotation coming out from Mongolz towards B. Because of that, he was just taking these fights. Even the fact that he dies, I mean, early on, it's just that couple of seconds of hesitation where Mongolz are out of position due to Sponge's push allows for Renegades to just execute onto the A site really cleanly. And it was all on Zilkenberg. So unfortunately, Zilkenberg, he played aggressive, he got caught, he traded 1-for-1, but still wasn't enough for his team at that point. So Renegades, they have control of the situation once again.
Sogu going down early on. That was Yam with the early kill there. Yam once again. Oh, actually, he's dropping very low at the moment. I think Machine Gun there taking a bit of fight with him. But still not buying the AWP on the terror side here. But he's been playing super well, so I don't really blame him. But it's just an interesting thing to look out for.
And Zilkenberg's down to 1 HP. Menace down to 4 HP. You just can't kill these guys right now. Finally, a nade is going to track down Menace at some point, but bomb is going to get planted here on the B site. No problem at all here for Renegades. Good control so far in this anti-eco situation, and there isn't really a whole lot that Mongolz can do.
No, this is very calculated. This is looking very similar to the Cbble game the Renegades played yesterday, where just tactically, I mean, they're not just running around outskilling people. They're outmaneuvering them across the map, so it's really well done. Actually, Mongolz did buy that was the saved M4, so yeah. Machine Gun's just trying to keep that alive. And JKS looks like he's going hunting for some frags, and he's going to find the M4, but he gets blinded. That was a team flash from the other angle, so that peek for Machine Gun doesn't work out, and still staying aggressive. And it looks like Renegades is going to clear this all out.
Oh, never mind.
Shot from Silk, but the valuable player in Machine Gun goes down. That M4 is lost. And that'll be a round for Renegades. 6-3 being the scoreline, moving into the 10th round here. Top fragging right now, still JKS with 12-5-5.
I think the important thing to notice, too, is the 2 heavy hitters for Mongolz this whole event, Zilkenberg and Machine Gun, are down at the bottom of the scoreboard for Mongolz. And this is kind of something, that we see in their play style, because they're not doing anything different from how they played Renegades on the first day. Or in the group stages when they just annihilated them. But this is the thing with that kind of a play style. When you're hitting your shots, it looks great and it looks dominant. But if you come in a little bit cold and you're not hitting your shots, this is what you get.
Yeah, exactly. You start falling behind.
It's also because a lot of the effect that they seem to have happened on a lot of the terrorist sides, right? Where they can dictate the pace a bit more. Right now, they're at the mercy of where Renegades decide to hit, and because they lost a lot of those battles early on, it's just been really rough.
Yeah, Renegades has been punishing all the attempts they have at getting information to see where they're going to go.
Machine Gun does end up finding Yam. Oh, no, rather Azza. And Sogu does chase off Sponge with that D. Sponge wisely backing off, waiting for the reinforcements to come through, and now they can go for the buddy system, face them together. Sogu has to give a little bit of ground at least. Well, Renegades with a minute left on this clock, I mean, they still have a lifetime here in this round. They have so much time to play with.
Look at the boost coming out of this. I mean, if Menace finds the right timing as they push in, it could be a little bit interesting. He's picked up an AK up there as well. You can tell that JKS is very paranoid about what might happen, but it's one of those plays here that could definitely pay off for the Mongols. I mean, timing is going to be everything. 35 seconds left. They are setting up for it. They're going to Molotov out the corner now. Menace making his way up behind the team. They are all lined up for him, and he's sprayed 3 of them down before he gets dropped. They're all headshots. JKS coming strong back into the round. There's Silkenberg coming up from behind as well on the CT side. They walk away with a victory. That was a fantastic boost.
Yeah, a massive play. And he played it so patiently, too, because there were 2 or 3 times where it looked like he was peeking to see if there was anyone there, trying to get some kind of intel, and he just waited. So he times that so well, and then just the follow-up flank from Silkenberg is just like, you have no chance of winning that. There's no reason to expect a second player coming from that angle.
Yeah, exactly that. That's just the element of surprise working out for Silkenberg. The fact that they lose their mate on the site as well. Oh, the shot attempt there from Silkenberg. He's not able to connect, though. And now he's lost control of Underpass. This is where it gets a little scary. He tries to put down that Molotov to keep himself alive, and it works. He takes out Havoc, who got a little too antsy there. And now 3 players on that A site to back him up. So Renegades don't really have any options apart from pushing out with Sponge over on Plateau on the B side of things. It's going to come down to Menace and Sogu, who the last 2 over here for Mongolz, waiting on this B site, and perfect. Menace is to give Sponge, Azza though with a good refrag, but Sogu's still here to hold the line.
Yeah, this was all a diversion, so Renegade switching things up, trying to slow play a B hit while still putting that pressure on A. It's that opening kill from Silkenberg that really alleviates it, allows the members of Mongolz to be patient at the B bomb site. So now in a 3-on-4, they've kind of got to reassess the situation. You can see 2 Renegades players falling back from B bomb site. They don't want anything to do with it, and Yam's going to get aggressive towards middle.
They've had success on A, so this is the correct call to make at this point for Renegades. Just go ahead, group up. We have some nades left. They have the Molotovs to clear out the side if they want. They have a smoke to put down to block off connector. All they're going to really have to worry about is balcony. So we'll see if they actually manage to make that work. Silkenberg with a little jump peek there. Not sure if he had the angle to spot them, but he's going to be in a good position here to pick them off as they come up the ramp. And there you go, another kill for him.
Does go down to JKS, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he did spot them straight away. That was a nice plan. NCL playing an unlikely position and gets both the kills. Bit of an off angle if you're coming out of that ramp. You don't expect anyone to be there. So again, a really good job here. 5-6, I mean, I'm very impressed by the way the Mongols are playing right now, and Renegades are out of money as well.
They finally succeeded in breaking the economy.
Yeah, and that's tough because actually, I mean, Renegades, it just feels like they got to 5 rounds somehow. I mean, you think of those 2 force buys early on, it felt like Renegades was just going to start running away with things. So yeah, very, very scrappy way for Mongols to get up towards 5 pretty early on in the half. So looking very, very good for them despite some of the struggles we've seen them have.
A bit of a dangerous place for Silkenberg to be playing there if they come around that corner. If he hangs around too long in Underpass, somebody can come up close and just wrap around on him. So decides to just play to his strengths. He's got the rifle. Force the guys with the pistols to come at him. That's the correct play.
You really don't want to see Mongols repeat some of the earlier mistakes here where they, it's a round like this where they know that Renegades have very little, if not nothing, then they really should play at least a trading game and try and make sure that they can keep them at a distance. They are playing super passive. I mean, Silken and NCL up an A-bomb site just very far back.
That's actually a change that might have helped them get up towards this 5, because remember they were playing aggressive to start out this half. You know, one deep towards mid and one towards that A platform, and actually Machine Gun's under a lot of pressure, gets caught off guard, but Sponge can't find that kill. But yeah, they've adjusted things, so they've played a little bit more passive, and now he's got a shot long range.
A lot of targets for him to go for, Silkenberg. He's even going to get that bank nade in there. Drops Azza down low. They will be able to find him eventually, but only a single kill here for Renegades. Silkenberg just holding his own there, waiting for the cavalry to come in, and it works out. He's starting to wake up. Machine Gun still trailing on the kills, but you really want Silkenberg and Machine Gun to be the 2 guys, who are leading the charge here for Mongolz. But it is impressive to see. We wouldn't be this far in, 6-6 the score, if the rest of the team, who are often seen as just support players for those 2, if they weren't hitting their shots, we wouldn't even have a match right now. So it's really refreshing to see actually that, they can count on Menace, on Sogu to come in and do some work.
Silk with a good spray down here as well, and NCL taking out Sponge, so still a favorable position for the Mongols. They don't know that the bomb is down in the middle, I think, or if they do, they can't really stop Renegades from picking it up. But they have, again, the man lead, and that makes it really hard for Renegades to find an entry.
Yeah, you can see they're all grouped up. They obviously, they haven't found out that the bomb's been picked up. You can see even the B player is cheated over. But still, going for a little bit of information. JKS is pushed up pretty far into Mongolz. IEM just waiting, and he gets caught out. I mean, Sogu not afraid to peek, try and see what he can get down there, and he finds that kill. So now Renegades is in a really tough spot.
All right, it comes down to the two heavy hitters now for Renegades, Azza and JKS. These guys need to start hitting some headshots here if they're going to have a chance, because that two-man advantage should make it pretty nice here. And already NCL, he's laying up in the cut. Easy kill for him, and this should set up the follow-up exactly. Sogu managing to peek forward and pick up the kill.
And going back to your point, Sumner, about how it's good to see that it's not just, in fact, Silk and Machine Gun on this team doing well. That is even more true. If they really do manage to beat Renegades here and end up in Katowice, then they are going to need every single member of this team, and they're going to need the time between sort of now and then to like make sure that this team is fully prepared. Like maybe for this qualifier you could do it by having two superstars that play well. Yeah. Once you get to Poland, it'll be very different.
No, not even just Poland, even just a major qualifier. At the end of February, which they've already qualified for. And look at this, nades into the choke point.
Even the fire, just doing work. 2 kills. Can he even get a third one here? Sogu doesn't need it in the end. He's just going to go for the all-out, out-and-out spray. JKS, the last man alive here for Renegades. And I mean, speaking of, star power coming to the fore, it's JKS who's sitting at 18 kills, 5 assists for Renegades. Following up that is Azza with only 9. Everybody else is in single digits for Renegades. So really, it's like JKS is the one waking up here for the Aussies. The rest of the team, they need to find themselves here. They need to pick up this last round.
That's like reverse from yesterday, because it was everyone on Renegades showing up, and JKS was usually, he had a couple good rounds, but he was more towards the bottom. It was Azur, especially on Cbble, who was a beast. Sponge stepping up, Havoc was playing really well. So it's the Mongols who have their entire team kind of stepping up their game and elevating things in all MCL.
Oh, he's just cold as ice, getting shot that far down, but not replying with a single shot. Otherwise, they just keep going and probably take him out. Now he's going to have to commit to it, and they end up catching him there. Sponge picking up an important kill. Renegades, they must win this round. They're already behind, and they're already not having a good first half. And we were talking about this. What does that do to sort of their mental state? Do they end up simply crumbling?
Yeah, we were wondering if they were going to be able to recover from something like this. So now we get to see what Renegades is actually made of. Struggling in this, especially struggling on their T side, which we haven't really seen from these teams in this event on this map. It's been the terrorist side that has been that better half.
Oh, it is true. The pressure, exactly. Oh, this map, well, did Mongols all of a sudden discover the way to play CT Cbble? Is this it, guys? Are they the team?
They're learning
the chosen
so quickly.
Ones?
They are, they are at least actually, to their credit, they are trying to take a couple of more like peeks in and try and take some fights instead of waiting around. Because it seems to me like as soon as they wait around and let Renegades execute, things get a lot tougher. Peek like this one for Machine Gun. And the timing is pretty good, but there is no possibility of a refrag on JKS. So still a 4 versus 3 here. Silk in the back lines with the AWP. This is going to be really tough. They are out of grenades, so at least they can't Molotov him out of this position. And Havoc comes into it with a good double kill. And it's going to be 8-7 here. Renegades making up for some lost rounds at the end.
Yeah, but they need more people to step up on the CT side. They can't feel happy with what they got there, especially because, look at they look so dominant at the start of this half. They got all their rounds very, very early on. They reset Mongols a couple times, and then, 5 straight for Mongols to end that half. That's incredible.
So now it's time for a pistol round. What we have for the Mongols is, well, pistol, Glock armor on everyone except for NCL, who's got a flashbang already down in the middle, and then a smoke and a flash still. A bomb being left back here. So it looks like they just want to scout out the map for a little bit and see what Renegades are up to.
Yeah, this is the thing, that they're very, very spread out, and this is what we've seen out of them on a couple other terrorist pistol rounds, that they've gotten picked apart when they've done this. So, actually, Machine Gun, look at how aggressive he's being, and JKS finds him, not even looking the right way. So that's a good opening kill to have. Machine Gun still struggling and gets shut down early in the pistol.
Oh, wow, yeah, that timing. And again, it's always going to be Machine Gun. He's the guy who wants to get out there and hunt. He wants to get out there and find those kills. And we saw this struggle with versus Chiefs. Same thing. Chiefs were able to adjust. They were able to catch out Machine Gun. And that's where Mongols seem to struggle a little bit. Once he gets caught, if he isn't able to at least trade up and pick up one kill, take somebody with him, they will struggle when they're a man down.
It's strange for a team that so far has impressed us with like their speed and how aggressive they're playing, that in the pistol rounds, which is almost designed when you're on the terrorist side to be that aggressive and to get close and use the sort of the bullets and the Glocks to try and see if you can make it happen. You're right, they are just getting picked apart here. They've got no chance.
Yeah. I'm wondering, hesitation? Are they overthinking it? You know, they're here, they're like, oh, we had such a great first half. Okay, this is what we're going to do. Like, all these different levels. Like, we're going to... And then all of a sudden, it's just like, oh, no, wait. We just need to get headshots, guys. Like...
It's so weird. The first 2 kills in that pistol were two, it was, machine gun coming out drop, and then the one over towards B platform. They're, like, taking long-range one-on-one duels with Glocks against USP. So, I mean, they just get crushed. Nothing that they can even do. Didn't give themselves any sort of advantages. And now in this round, I mean, this is something that they should have done in the pistol. Look at how grouped up they are here. With these Tech 9s in armor, they only have 2 flashbangs to work with, but if they can get an opening kill and just swarm on this B site, although Renegades, once again, maybe doing their homework, 4 members here at B.
Yeah, they are waiting for this. They are ready. And well, Mongolz, they did have success. Zilkenberg is going to be the man taking point here, trying to just edge his way out the plateau with Sogu there to back him up. And now we have to see those 2 flashes, man. They're going to have to be worth their weight in gold here.
It is still perfectly possible. The way the IEM is holding like this, this could definitely work out. Now Asa's flanking out a little bit further, so they might have a better angle here, but there are the opening frags. JKS and IEM both going down. Great spray from Asa. Takes 1, 2, 3, and that's maybe going to bring them back into the game here. 2-on-2 right now. Menace catching Havoc mid-transition into that B-bomb site, and now Sponge alone to try and clutch it. It's not even going to happen. Gets trucked by Menace, who picks up a triple kill, and that's going to be Mongolz picking up a 9th round and a big win for them.
Oh, and a pause coming in? Let's see, we might have a technical issue here. I don't think this is going to be a tactical pause. Definitely from that look of surprise there. So, a little bit of a breather, actually. Yeah, it looks like Machine Gun might have disconnected real quick. Shouldn't take long to get back into it. Okay, but, like, what is up with Mongolz and their ability to just win these force buys, these eco rounds? They all seem to be so close versus Renegades. Renegades, in rounds that they should just be stomping through, are struggling.
Well, that round came down to Mongolz found, like, when they decided to execute, it was as soon as the 4th Renegades player had rotated back towards A, and all of the Renegades players at B started moving backwards a little bit more passive, so it actually gave them a lot of room to work with, and that's what happens in the B bomb site with that kind of a rush, with that kind of a swarm with these Tech 9s. I mean, that first kill happens, it's just instantaneous, and then there's no response from the defense. But look at the aggressive play now from Renegades. A good idea, but it's just going to get slaughtered. Sogu and Zilkenberg getting 3, and actually Sponge responds with 2 kills, so that works out nicely for him, but...
Wow. Sponge is hitting shots, and now Menace is in a hard spot. He's going to get peeked together, needs to find the headshot. Oh, he just barely does! Gets caught on the wall there. A little bit of, heart in your throat sort of moment, and Sponge is now going to be pinned and eviscerated. 2 kills for Menace in the end.
I like how they were both still taking that duel at such low HP. It's just like, all right, it's a pride thing at this point.
Yeah, you just want to go for it. 10-8 though, and Renegades still not with enough money to put together a real buy here, so they're going to have to skip it and just go for a little bit. A couple of flashbangs and some upgraded pistols. This is starting to get really tricky for Renegades. I wonder what the response is going to be once they actually do have money to buy.
Dude, Machine Gun has got 5 kills. He is not even really present right now. The rest of the Mongolz are just lighting him up. This is sick to see. Aggressive flash and aggressive push, and they have upgraded their pistols this time, Renegades. A little bit more damage going out, but they aren't able to get the kill. Sogu, he will get dropped down to 11. Silkenberg still low himself, but they kept control of the situation here, Mongolz, and they should be able to work their way out of this.
Yeah, but a lot of pressure being put on by Renegades right now. Still peeking, another Dink comes out. 2 members extremely low, 1 gets taken out. I don't think they realize that JKS is in that corner.
Oh, this might be the ultimate surprise here, JKS. They're so low. Sogu still sitting on 11 HP. Zilkenberg low himself. Let's see, there we go. First man through, but then the spray from Machine Gun, basically the aim punch, not allowing JKS to do anything more than that.
Oh, that would have been godlike if he could have picked up both those kills. Now they're trying to see if they can make their way back, and Renegades want to see if they can find some of these rifles up here, but now I think they did spot out Azza behind the box stand. They don't have any more Molotovs to actually try and force him out, so yeah, what a silly game that's being played. Now it's down to Sponge with the deagle in sight, and he's going to get found by Machine Gun. Triple kill for him in the round, probably a good confidence boost, maybe get him back, then you have to worry. I mean, if Machine Guns wakes up like he did yesterday, then I don't know what's going to happen to Renegades. They just might get thrown out of this map.
Yeah, I mean, if you told us that today, that this morning, that Machine Gun was going to be bottom fragging with 8 kills at this stage in the match and Mongolz would be winning, I don't think anyone would have believed you.
Yeah, I think I might have laughed at you there.
And, I mean, here's the problem. I
still
think Cash is the deciding map, right? We saw Renegades feeling just a little bit iffy on that map, so it seems like they want to go for a bit of a quick execute into this B-bomb site, and they're already on site. Nobody challenging them. A lot of damage being dished out to Menace, and there's the opening shot. NCL going down. Azza picking up the one shot. Yam with a refrag as well. The Sogu taking down Yam, but still a 3 versus 4, and it's still winnable here for the Mongols. They could just get that bomb down.
Full flash. Let's say Zilkenberg is going to be the linchpin here, I think. If he can get a late timing on JKS, takes the fight with him, and neither of them wins. JKS gets tagged down to 30, but now they know that the flank is there, Renegades, and so they shouldn't get caught off guard by it. It's just going to come down to the hard, heavy-hitting shots here. And Machine Gun, if ever there was a time for him to deliver, it was now. And it's just not meant to be. Tsogu gets picked off. Azza just going ham here, waking up. Zilkenberg going to put him down, but it's still a 1v3, and he just has no HP. No way out either. So nice hold here from Renegades. This time around, the anti-rush stack works.
Yeah, and not just that, but it was a sick hold actually. That was really cool what Renegades does with the Molotovs on that push. Instead of throwing them to force Mongolz to run through fire, they just they Molotov the main plant spot. They Molotov the passageway to start wrapping around fire for the fountain for the Mongols, and that pathway of fire just contained all of the Mongols at Broken Wall. There was nowhere for them to go between smoke and fire, so Renegades was able to just outlast everything, and then they had the aim duels. Mongols ran out of nades to use, and all they could do was take range fights, and they lost them.
And in terms of money, neither team is doing particularly well at the moment. Whoever loses this round probably going to be forced to eco. Maybe if Mongolz got the bomb down, they might try and just like go for a Tech 9 AK semi-buy like that, but it's definitely a little bit sketchy at 11-9. So I don't know, like, if Renegades can keep having rounds like that, it's still anybody's game.
This is a very important round, though, as you said, with both economies being so weak. This is basically the last really, really confident full buy both of them have. So winner of this is going to have a great foothold. Renegades will be able to even things up at Mongolz if they win this. They're going to have, especially with that CT economy, that gives them a great passageway into winning this map.
A really good job of holding on to their nades as well, Renegades. 45 seconds left, and NCL is going to be the one to catch Sponge, and that was Sponge pushing for info and underpass. And so now, well, Renegades, they had to take the risk. They had to try and find out where this push was going to come in. Sponge gets caught, so there's the man advantage for Mongolz. Menace taking a lot of nade damage there. But the fight is still going on. With 30 seconds left, they need to commit to this, Mongolz. It's time to push to get out there.
Yeah, this is really troublesome, isn't it? We had a couple of hilarious rounds yesterday on Inferno where time ran out. Now it's 20 seconds here. And Silk picking up that kill. Yam, he's got a lot. He's got all the weight on his shoulders now. Silk taking on JKS. Yam spraying one that does drop the bomb. And, you know, look at the clock. It was about 14 seconds when that bomb goes down. If Yam hadn't been all alone, and if there had been just a little bit more of a setup there for Renegades, it's still a bit sketchy, but it does work out, and making it 12-9. We go for a bit of a pause here for Renegades.
This is a really good pause, because this is like disaster scenario for Renegades right now. Like we mentioned, the economy, the losing team there was going to be in a really tough spot, and now Renegades is in a situation where Havoc and Sponge are both sitting around $1,400. So for them to have a strong buy, they'd have to double save. But at this stage in the game, there's no way they do that. So Renegades has got to come up with a plan, whether it be in the buy next round or maybe something this time to try and win like a miraculous eco. But next round, they're basically only going to have 3 rifles unless, you know, someone from Renegades finds a way to save an AK or drop a FAMAS.
JKS has, like, what, close to 4,000, so that's a little bit of money to at least to work with there. He should be able to get something going for himself. I mean, both him and Azza and Yam, I mean, are kind of within a healthy range. It really is Havoc and Sponge who are making this complicated for Renegades, whereas Machine Gun continues to sit on 8 kills.
Yeah, who cares, though? Look at Menace, 20-11. Sogu, he was a beast in the first half. It's been all Menace mostly, and Zilkenberg actually that round had a sick flank at the A-bomb set. That was like a 4-1 setup. And
he just took the fight, like he just walked out and caught Sponge, caught JKS. At that point, Yam is really sad. Well, we should be like ticking down here on the time. I'm just curious. It's got to be a single round of eco. That has to be what comes through here for Renegades at this point.
Yeah, I think it'd be madness to try and do anything else. This is a map where, especially in drop and by the plateau and B, and even in A long, you can set up some like good close range fights with stuff like Max 7s and stuff like that. But if you don't win those fights, then if the rest of the team has Max 7s and SMGs, you are never gonna like have a good retake going on. So you're kind of putting it all on those initial fights, and I'm not sure if it's worth it right now for Renegades to do that. They've got Yam for AWPing. I think they could do a lot on this half still. If they just get the right rifles in.
I think Renegades talking now is, yeah, save into this next round. You'll have 3 rifles, and if I'm them, I'm just having Sponge and Havoc get, you know, armor and a pistol, 5.7 or P250, CZ, whatever they prefer, just so you can have a little bit more nade usage. I mean, that's going to be so crucial to stopping any kind of aggression towards drop, towards platform. You need your nades to be able to do that.
How long is this timeout going to last? I think Renegades are getting quite a bit of time here.
There comes the unpause.
There's the unpause. Toe in the line. We will be picking up the game once again. They had a lot of time to talk there, Renegades, so we'll see. But so did Mongolz. And Mongolz right now, they are feeling fired up. So 3 P250s. Azza actually willing to commit to getting Kevlar here in this round, so we'll have to watch him and see what he's going to be capable of. Single flash as well. There you go, Anders. $200 investment. Might make the difference.
I mean, it's worth the investment just to please me, at least, you know? Do it for Anders, please. At least just buy that $200 flash. There it gets popped in, see if they can make anything happen. Not only going to be a kill, but...
What was that? That pop flash was just to get Sponge in that position, a little bit delayed?
Yeah.
Is that what that's for?
I'm wondering...
Or JKS That's JKS up there.
Because they didn't even go for a peek with it.
I can't see them not checking this for the model, so I think JKS is about to burn live.
Yeah, they've got the mollies here at Mongolz. This shouldn't be something that they mess up. They've also been very thorough about using their nades to check corners like this. And Menace holding way back. Yeah, there we go. JKS, it's about to get toasty. They spot him at least, and he lost the element of surprise. What? And somehow he gets out alive?
Sponge picking up a kill now. They're going to try and see if they can move forward here. Machine gun taking a bit of damage through the smoke. So man lead here for the Renegade side. A boost comes up, a machine gun. No, thank you, Havoc. Whatever Havoc was trying to sell, machine gun is not buying it. Grenade to follow as well, and actually gets a couple of refrag there. Azza and Yam picking up a couple of kills here. Sogu out of the open, and the bomb is dropped behind them now with 35 seconds. This is a bit uncomfortable here for Mongolz.
Yeah, they're feeling the pressure now. Sponge, he's just drawing attention to himself, trying to set it up here for Azza. But Azza, yeah, this is it. He's just waiting. Smoke will go down. He might be able to make it. Does he actually find the angle? Yes, he does. Loses the fight, though, somehow. That was it. That was the moment. Now they get the bomb plant for free with 15 seconds left, and Spongy's on the other side of the map. He's so far away.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
That looked like that should have been a one fight for Azza.
I'm interested as to why Sponge took this such a long rotate when Azza's in that position. Maybe he's trying to meet up with him to protect the bomb, but with that much time left.
He got an AK? Is that it? Like he wanted to find a rifle somewhere?
No, I think he was probably expecting that if Azza gets the first kill and the bomb is down, even if Azza gets traded, maybe he could be there in time to pick up the second player. And I mean, it kind of makes sense, but yeah, he just ended up losing that fight, and that's really regrettable because that could have been such a big round for Renegades.
Listen, we're glossing over the most important part of that round, and it was the underhanded nade. Dude,
yeah.
that was so dirty.
So like, here, have this, take this.
That's actually, I mean, that boost that they were doing is so cool, but the one, like, it backfires in a big way if the guy gets boosted, like, if the boosted guy dies, because you obviously know there's another player there, and that player can never get out. You know, he's always going to be trapped in that corner, so it's a pretty big investment to make that boost happen.
And now look at this by Havoc. I mean, he has the UMP, which he's been sick with in this tournament. On Mirage yesterday, he was a beast with it. Sponge has that Mag 7 that you talked about. He's going to be close up towards those danger stairs, waiting for anyone to try and encroach into this path. And Soku looks like he might actually give him an opportunity.
I'm curious. He does have Zilkenberg, or he had Zilkenberg. Zilkenberg's starting to rotate back towards the B site. And it looks like Mongolz, I mean, they've had so much success on this site. They're like, well, why change it up now, boys? Just keep going on plateau. Machine gun, you can keep dunking nades on people, and, you know, we'll just, you know, stroll right through the remainder of this half. They win this round. If they win this round, Mongolz, Renegades are forcing, so this is it. We've had two very important rounds close together here. But it's all on Mongolz now to just find these shots, and they still sit with only 3 players here on the B site, Renegades, so this is all or nothing now. IEM is going to have to come up big.
NCL trying to see if he can find the opening. Catch him on the box as well, and it's going to be perfect. Yam ends up going down, jumping just a bit too much. Great follow-up grenade, or Havoc shutting him down, but the bomb is still down and dropped right now. Silkenberg going to take up Azur, and there's a refract coming in from Havoc with that UMP machine gun there to win the fight. Again, 20 seconds here as they pick up the bomb, and Sponge is right behind him with the mag 7. He comes jumping down. Sponge, what are you doing? Oh no, he misses the shot. The machine gun going to take him down. Silkenberg to drop JKS.
Oh, Sponge is going to be living that round for a long time, dude.
That's going to be a nightmare.
And Havoc drops the bomb carrier. The bomb is all the way over in connector. Sponge, if he could just, you need like 1 shot, 2 shots at that range, it should be done. How did that happen?
I think he was dropping down there, expecting to come in and just flank them in the bomb site. And then as he's doing it, he realized, wait a minute, there's actually someone in here with me. So I think he probably it looked more obvious to us that he was going to take that fight than it did to him probably, but it's still obviously, again, it's a bit regrettable, like with Azur in the previous round. It's some of those rounds where if Renegades win it, then we could be looking at like an 11 to 12 scoreline instead here.
Yeah, but the tough part to think about is that round with Azur and now with Sponge, those are fights that they should have easily won.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are 100%. That's like nightmare fuel, where like Sponge is going to be tossing and turning. Even if they win this, he'll be tossing and turning. He's like, if I'd have just, landed that 1 shot, might have made all of the difference. Oh, Sponge, he doesn't get the timing for the punish. Sogu definitely heard those steps. He knew somebody was close. And Machine Gun in the meantime takes out Yam as well. So 2-man advantage here. Now a single man is Havoc. He gets that FAMAS into play, but he's only got 7 HP left, so he has to play very careful from here on out. And wow, Mongolz are actually going to change things up. It looks like they want to hit the A site.
Yeah, very slowly. 45 seconds left. So we're on the clock down a little bit, but they have 2 smokes to work with, so they can block off these choke points. 2 members going up danger stairs, and one's over towards drop to maybe get aggressive on a rotate or a flank later on. And here come those smokes. So the Mongols have some time to wait this out, and you can see NCL is going to find one. That makes things a lot easier. Still very patient as Sogu, just looking for any kind of information, but it's going to be Menace taking the battle. Good trades, though, by Renegades.
20 seconds left. There's just not a lot of time, but Machine Gun, that delayed flank, that delayed backstab, and they're getting pumped up, Mongols, man. Look at that. This is happening.
For really good reason. They're playing super well at the moment. You can tell individually as well, with so much focus. I mean, just imagine Sogu right now, walking into middle round after round to look for fights, not afraid that he's going to at any point get like pop flashed in on or get like overwhelmed. He's just so confident doing it. It's a real pleasure.
Yeah, and here's the thing. The easiest way to punish that is with an AWP to just grab an angle. If they're going to take fights like that, you just put an op there. But they've controlled the economy this entire half. Renegades have not been able to get that out.
Yeah, Yam is going to be really frustrated. Havoc as well. I mean, they've shown that they can go for the double AWP play if they want to, Renegades. That has never been an option, you're right. So Mongols, they're not running into any traps this time around. Back to standard as could be. Machine Gun clearing out, drop. And Sogu just now pushing into underpass.
Sponge is back on the Mag 7. You think he would have stayed away from that gun?
When Sponge has it, it's called the Mag 7.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Boom!
So cruel.
Boom!
Stop it, he's already dead.
Well, he's going to have to come up big here, especially if they go for the drop play. Silk just making his way out plateau right now. Sponge just hoping that he's going to get the opportunity. Great Molotov back there, forces out Yam, and Silk somehow connects with the spray, but Sponge, though, the Max 7 takes down one, runs close to the wall. He wants to get the second shot in, and he will be successful. NCL going to go down as it drops on the bomb side. Sponge jumping to get the kills through here, and it is now a 1 versus 2. JKS is going to be on the site with the C-set 75, and is going to get the kill first there, but should not be winning this fight against Silk. Running up close with the AK here, though, and he gets the kill. 16-9, and the Mongols defeat Renegades on cobblestone, at least. It's a best of 3.
It is, yeah, good to remind ourselves here. They haven't won the tournament yet, but they are now 1 map away in an upset win on a map that Renegades shouldn't have lost. They are the underdogs here, Mongols, but they aren't playing like it. To me, it's looking like Renegades are the one who are trying to battle back and play scrappy and try and find a way to get into this game.
Yeah. I think very, very impressive, obviously. We're going to have a breakdown of the map once we get back from a quick break.